Greetings! Welcome to Asians for Liberty with your host, Sau Fong O'Fallon. I'm pleased to be sharing with you some key insights, twice a week in just a handful of minutes, on things happening in the world that are impacting our liberties. While the emphasis on topics are geared toward concerned Asians who cherish freedoms, all may be interested as everyone would be affected in the long run. Many people here who left their countries of birth to flee communism are finding that communism has now come to the United States, and that is taking stronger root across many areas of our lives. They do recognize that some tactics which were used in their former countries are being utilized over here, such as silencing people. Big tech and government working together to suppress freedom of speech. Much of this was done in the main social media platforms, which are deemed as today's town squares for expressing thought. While most people felt this was happening, it has been confirmed by the releases of what is known as the Twitter files, that Twitter withheld information from coming out during critical timeframes of history due to the urging of government officials. Yes, research revealed that results of the major 2020 election could have given a different result had some information not have been suppressed. As well, Facebook, which is now called Meta, had proactively forbidden the general users to express their thoughts on who may have won the 2020 election except for the media so that they can give their projections and have no challengers. By the way, you can see that some of the major news outlets or their guests were forbidden to express talking points or viewpoints that would be contrary to the projections in the months following that election. These social media platforms would lock your account for a period of time or reduce your ability to respond in full fashion or ban you permanently for expressing your thoughts contrary to what they wanted. Even if these thoughts were constitutionally legal to express, one would be silenced anyway. Now, the communist countries had their way of silencing opposition through imprisonment, dismemberment, or even death. So while some may think that the social media way of silencing people is not as harmful, understand that permanently banning someone from a platform might impact their livelihood to the point of no return. As well, social media had allowed enemies of free speech to dox someone. Doxing is done by publicly releasing information of where one currently lives, where they work, and who their friends or families are for the purpose of harassing or even harming them. Indoctrination of our youth, which is mainly done through the school system. Those who had survived Mao's Cultural Revolution saw firsthand the brainwashing of young children. Known as Red Guards, these youth were instrumental in bringing in the revolution as they were indoctrinated to hate their families, and hate their friends who were not in line with the revolution, and also to hate the prosperous landowners. Identity politics are being used to manipulate today's youth to turn what was an orderly way of life into resentment, unreasonable social justice demands, and taking authority away from parents on critical matters pertaining to their own children. Pressure by authorities for underage children to hide serious information from the parents, allowing life-altering decisions to be done at the minor's discretion without parental approval. So what can we do as citizens? Get involved, even in the smallest way. Get to know what is happening in your own city and town. What is your mayor's name? Do you know what they stand for? Who's your sheriff? Hey, now know this. Understand that the sheriff holds a very important position for your community. Who are your school board members in your children or young relatives' schools? Many of those who survived communism have pursued to get involved politically in order to make a difference by running for office locally or nationally. Know that you can make a difference by sitting in on community council meetings and letting your voice be heard. You can volunteer to help or financially support those who are representing your values toward defending liberty. You can write, email, or call your designated elected officials when you have concerns that require their attention. Find out who they are and have their contact information handy. Understand your rights so that you will know when they are under attack. At least know the Bill of Rights, which are the first 10 amendments to the U.S. Constitution. Exercise your right to vote as a citizen. In the November 2020 election, it was estimated that Asians made up 5% of all U.S. adult citizens, but yet Only 4.4% actually voted. Now note that some local or state elections had winner determined by only 20 votes or even less. Invite your family and friends to get involved as well in some or all of the above. According to research, Asian Americans are the fastest growing racial or ethnic group in the U.S., and that's according to Pew Research, April 2021. This means that what we Asian Americans do can make a huge difference. So I am thrilled to have you join me weekly on these podcasts as we journey together to make a difference for you and for generations to come. I'm Sau Fong O'Fallon, and I'll see you next time at Asians for Liberty.